evening and welcome to the Evening News' Week in Review for the week ending Saturday, April 6, 2019. I'm Davina Ramdas. Thanks for joining us. For the next 30 minutes, we'll recap some of the top stories that were featured during the past week. We begin by telling you that the state of Kuwait has cancelled some US $50.7 million in debt owed by Guyana from a $10 million loan taken in 1975. In this Monday report, you will hear that this development comes less than a month after Guyana received a $344 million grant from the Kuwait government. Here are the details.
This massive debt write-off is as a result of an agreement signed by the Guyana's finance minister, Winston Jordan, with the state of Kuwait on March 18, 2019. The finance ministry said that this debt cancellation will allow Guyana to expand its developmental agenda. According to the ministry, the funds saved from this agreement will be allocated to social projects within the context of the national budgets. With the debt write-off, Guyana still owes Kuwait approximately $26.8 million. This, according to the ministry, will be settled through a combination of cash payments to be made over 9 years and a debt swap arrangement which will be worked out in due course. Guyana's debt from Kuwait originated from a loan deposit contracted in 1975 from the Central Bank of Kuwait for US $10.3 million at the time. The loan was for balance of payments, support to the Bank of Guyana. However, the debt accumulated massive arrears over the past 4 decades at high market interest rates. Meanwhile, only recently, Kuwait gave Guyana $344 million to conduct a feasibility study for the redesign of the Belfield to Rosignol road network. The study, which will be carried out by the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, seeks to solve the issues of deteriorating roads, poor drainage, and road safety communities from Belfield to Rosignol. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Guyana and Kuwait established diplomatic relations in 1995. Lisa Lowe Garnett reporting for the Evening News.
On Tuesday, we reported that several ministers have automatically resigned in light of their decision to give up their seats in the National Assembly owing to their dual citizenship status. More in this report.
Joseph Harmon, Carl Greenidge, Dominic Gaskin, and Dr. Rupert Roopnarine will no longer be serving as ministers or parliamentarians. The Ministry of the Presidency announced earlier today that President David Granger accepted the resignation of all coalition members of Parliament who are dual citizens. This means that these parliamentarians will not be returning to the National Assembly for the next sitting on April the 11th. However, by resigning as a parliamentarian, these individuals have automatically resigned as ministers of the government. In an interview with this newscast, former Attorney General Anil Nandalal explains why.
The Constitution seems to be clear that an elected member of the National Assembly who is a minister shall cease to become a minister if that elected member of the National Assembly vacates the National Assembly. That goes to show the answerability issue that I alluded to earlier, where ministers are always answerable to the National Assembly. And the National Assembly in that context represents the people of Guyana.
Nandalal explained that ministers are parliamentarians first and ministers second.
This obviously does not apply to a technocrat minister. For example, Keith Scott and Felix. Because technocratic ministers are not supposed to be elected members of the National Assembly. They are not elected from a list of candidates. They are appointed by the president from outside, and they sit in the parliament by virtue of their appointment as ministers by the president. But again, they have to sit in the parliament, and that demonstrates or illustrates the fact that you cannot be a minister and not be in the parliament.
Going forward, Dr. George Norton, the vice chairman of the PNCR, the largest coalition partner, explained that options are being explored regarding the replacement of ministers. He said, however, that no definite decision has been taken so far. Regarding the replacement parliamentarians, Dr. Norton noted that a decision will be made in time for the next sitting of the National Assembly. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
However, the following day, government backtracked on its announcement, saying that the resignation of the 4 government members of parliament MPs will not be with immediate effect. Details in this report filed on Wednesday.
While he has accepted the resignation of Minister of State Joseph Harmon, Foreign Affairs Minister Carl Greenidge, Business Minister Dominic Gaskin, and Public Service Minister Dr. Rupert Roopnarine, President David Granger says there are still some constitutional processes that need to be followed before the 4 ministers become effectively resigned and are replaced in the National Assembly. This includes submitting their letters of resignation to the Speaker of the National Assembly and having their names removed from the national top-up list. President Granger said the nomination of new members to replace the 4 coalition MPs can only be done after the extraction of names from the national top-up list is approved by the Ghana Elections Commission. Nevertheless, the president said he has not approved replacement MPs at this time. Meanwhile, the 3 Partnership for National Unity ministers of government who have resigned from the National Assembly have indicated that they will initiate steps to renounce their foreign citizenship. Davina Samaru reporting for the Evening News.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Barry Jagdeo announced on Wednesday that the 3 PPPC parliamentarians with dual citizen status will be resigning from the National Assembly and, as such, does not believe that the coalition government is serious when it comes to the resignation of their members of parliament who hold dual citizenship status. Here is more.
Opposition leader Barry Jagdeo today said that the 3 opposition parliamentarians, Chief Whip Gil Teixeira, Odinga Lumumba and Adrian Anamaya, who have foreign citizenship, will be resigning from the National Assembly.
Last week, after my press conference, they all wrote to the representative of the list, who's Ramatar, indicating that they will do so. I suspect by next week, they would all submit letters to the Speaker.
However, the opposition leader noted that while all 3 MPs are resigning, only Teixeira and Lumumba plan to give up their second citizenship.
Adrian Anamaya will not renounce. He has explained to me that there are family obligations and other issues, so he will not renounce. Because of those commitments he has to his family and others. But Odinga Lumumba and Gail Teixeira will renounce. Gail Teixeira has shown me the document. She has filed all the requisite papers, received an acknowledgement already, and it will be awaiting the Canadian authorities' decision on the matter for an expedited renunciation, and Odinga will do the same shortly.
Nevertheless, in relation to the other 2 MPs, Jagdeo posited that while they do not have stumbling blocks in renouncing their foreign citizenship, it is a tough process.
It's a tough thing for people to do, but he's made the decision, so he will get it done. He's made the decision. We didn't beat him on his head. Odinga made the decision on his own. He wants to serve Guyana.
Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.